welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. In this video, I'll be unboxing, assembling, and demonstrating the DeWalt 10-inch 60-volt max telescoping pole saw kit. The model number is DCPS671X1. There are a lot of key features listed right here on the box, so before I take it out, I'm going to go over a few of them. Mine does come as a kit. It comes with a 60-volt max battery included. I looked online and they have some that aren't quite as long of a bar. Mine's a 10-inch, and they also have some that do not come with any type of a battery, which if you have the DeWalt platform, you might have batteries and that might not be a factor for you. Let's see, it cuts through an 8-inch log 2.7 times faster. So what they're comparing it to is Troy-Bilt's 28cc gas-powered pole saw TB25S. It looks like it's pretty small writing. The range is 103 inches to 140 inches. Chain speed, 51 feet per second. Chain gauge, 0.043 inches. Chain pitch, 3/8 LP. Tool weight, this is just the tool only, so it's 14.8 pounds. So for me, I might just not be able to use this for hours on end, that's all. And the battery has a 3-year limited warranty, and the tool has the same 3-year limited warranty, as well as the 1-year free service contract and a 90-day money-back guarantee, which is pretty standard for most DeWalt tools. Obviously, there's a lot of warnings that come with a tool of this nature, so you'll want to follow safety precautions. I have on my steel-toed boots. I'm going to wear gloves. I wear ear protection. And also, I saw a couple other reviews and nobody protected their head. So make sure if you're doing something and working with chopping limbs down, you'll want to wear a hard hat. All right, so here's a bag. This looks like a charger, which I have about 500 of them at this point. Here is the saw. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. How am I going to store this? Right, so here's more of the body of the tool. This looks like maybe some kind of like harness or a shoulder strap. There's this dealie here. It's like a driver on one end and like sockets on another. Here's a box including, this feels like the battery. It is. I actually thought I was going to have to install the chain. It's already on there and it's obviously oiled. I can see that. Here's the scabbard, which is newer and sleeker looking than my chainsaw that I have. Inside of a separate baggie, you're going to find the instruction manual. There's like an Allen key. There's like a small Allen key. I'll make sure to keep that in there. I'm actually going to keep all of the tools that come with this. All the maintenance tools are going to go in here. And then this looks like a file. Okay, the flex volt battery is pretty bulky on its own. I'll have to see how much it weighs. But it only came with 1 bar on the fuel gauge. Let's see if there's any major differences between this charger and the ones I already have on my workbench back there. It looks basically the same. This little dealie here, the indicator might be a little bit different. Hopefully it's a little faster than the older ones, but I'm going to go ahead and plug this in while I'm assembling this. All right, so here's a close-up look at the trigger. It is much like a lot of the other things I have. I have like a snow shovel, I have a yard brush, and they have this safety mechanism where you have to push this first in order to engage, and that is a variable speed trigger. This end of the pole saw just slips onto the rod right here. You'll notice there's a little hole, and that must line up with that bolt, and then just take the Allen key. Okay, so I tighten that one first, and then tighten the other. There's one here, and it just kind of squeezes this part together. Here's a close-up look at this, okay? And you can see you just release that, and it automatically has a spring that kind of flows out on it. You can hear it inside there, but for now, I'd like to not knock things over in my garage, so I'm going to put this in the most compact setting for right now. Okay, and then see, it just locks. Okay, so this just slides onto here. When you go to slide this bottom part with the trigger switch on, there's a little hole right here on the rod. You're going to have to remove this part, slide this on until it's seated there, and then go ahead and start this bolt. So then this piece is where you're going to tether the shoulder strap, and you just squeeze it and it clamps. See, there's like a little channel here, and it's gonna line up with the channel on top of the tool. And then I suppose if you needed to, you could probably adjust that. And then here's the shoulder strap, and there's a carabiner, and that is going to thread through here. So the correct way to use that shoulder strap is just over one shoulder. You don't want to wrap your body with it and do like cross body. So that is a no-no. This is a yes. Okay, a couple other things I wanted to mention. There is this tool that you can use to tighten the chain, tighten any fittings on the tool, and that is stored. It looks like it cradles in here. Okay, so a couple things to go over with the chain. Obviously, you always want to wear gloves when you're going to touch it and work with it. And you're going to want to make sure that you don't have like a sloppy chain on here. It should be no more than 1/8 of an inch that you can pull out. And the manual talks about making sure that you check the tension before you use it, and then when you go to store it, to loosen the tension, because it says it can damage the saw. Another thing to point out, when you go to use this, most of my saws that I have, you need to start the motor and then touch the wood. This actually says that if you're going to cut a branch, you should rest the chain on the branch and then start it full throttle. Okay, to put oil in here, you just flip this part of the cap up, twist, and then it is tethered with a tiny, it looks like a fishing line, so that is tethered. I'm gonna go ahead and try to film this left-handed. Okay, it shows that you can adjust the flow of the oil with this. I hope this is easy to see, but underneath here you can, and I'm not gonna touch mine. It looks like it's set at minimum when you get it from the factory, and you can either loosen it or tighten it depending on the type of wood that you're going to be cutting into. So all you do is use the slotted end of the screwdriver, and you can just turn that and adjust accordingly. I'm not going to touch mine. I'm going to leave it at factory settings. You can also use this end to maintenance the chain. Okay, so you would use this if you wanted to loosen or tighten the chain tension. And again, I'm really not going to mess with mine. It seems to be set where I want it. Make sure you look over this manual. As crummy as the directions are, there are a lot of safety things that are written out that you'll need to know, because I'm not going to be covering absolutely everything. Also, I did see another video, one of the YouTubers, and I don't mean to talk bad about my fellow creators, but he did modify his pole, and if you do anything like that, you've automatically voided your warranty, so I would caution against doing anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna let that fully charge, and then I'm gonna give it a whirl in my yard. There are a few limbs that I need to take care of, and I just never had the tool to access them, and I wasn't gonna get up on a ladder. So one in particular is right over top of my septic tanks. That is one area of concern. And then I do have apple trees also that when I go to mow, I'm running into them. They're getting caught in my hair, pulling my glasses and my earplugs out. So I'm gonna take care of those in this video. And I'm gonna try it around a couple different places. So stay tuned, I'm gonna show you that next. All right, my battery's fully charged. I'm gonna go ahead and attach it and give it some trial cuts. Just a couple observations. I have that shoulder strap tightened as far as it'll go. It still isn't enough for me. I might have to figure out something else, but really once I have it on, it isn't bearing any weight. When I get my arms into position to hold on to that tool for what's comfortable for me, it's like, it would only be good for when I'm going in between jobs. So, okay, I'm gonna get some close-up shots. It is pretty heavy though for me. All right, let's do. right, it works great, but it is very heavy. I wouldn't be able to take this out and work on it for hours. This would probably be maybe an hour tops for me. I just don't have the upper body strength, and it is super heavy, but it does go through lickety split. All right, let's cut up some more stuff. All right, that's odd. I just found a bottle buried in the ground. Check it out. I just found this. Wonder how old it is. Doesn't look super old. Oh my gosh, is it stuck? All right. USA 80 83. Looks like 83. Okay. I have one more area to cut. I still have 3 bars on my battery, but I'm going to take it off. I can see my chain has loosened a little bit, so I'm going to show you how to tighten it. I don't know that I said this yet either, but obviously you don't want to stand on a ladder and operate this tool. That's a major no-no. Okay, so this is kind of hard to do in film. As you can see, it's loosened up quite a bit. You can see that sagging. I loosened this housing right here. Let me see. Quite a bit of gunk. So I'm going to pull this out, take out the slack. I'm going to tighten that back. I kept the chain where I wanted it, then I'm just going to put this back on. Hoping that nothing falls and gets lost. Okay. Tighten that. All right, I think we're good to go. I'm going to put the battery back on. I'm going to be cutting those trees that are over top of my septic, so I've kind of put like a little barricade here with sawhorses. I'm going to start with the really light tips and cut it in sections so that I only have a small amount falling at a time, and then I'll move these accordingly. I think that's all I want to cut today, and I really don't have energy to do more. This is very taxing on my arms. Overall, it's a really good quality tool. I couldn't work with this for hours and hours every day, but if you're an arborist, you're probably used to this. I would have absolutely no reservations recommending this to anybody. The directions are terrible, so hopefully this video was helpful. Don't forget to follow because I always post DIY content, projects, and crafts even. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook as well. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.